All right, will it work? Okay, I think I've hammered out the audio issues, so we can now continue. Yep, good on that end. So now we can begin the Season 1 NCS finale. Just all right. Now we start off by qualifying. We haven't qualified yet. Just doing some stuff in Discord. Actually, I don't even have the link. All right. And hopefully that sorts out my Discord stuff. Let's just go ahead and qualify. And where the hell is where are all the cars at? Oh, on the backstretch. All right, so Born Ready will take the pole for the final race this season. And just look at all 36 cars. Let's take a look at some notable drivers. Starting in fourth will be Chippy, the highest qualifying Final Four driver. And pull back to 10th for RS Fastlane 11. Ooh, the other two Final Four drivers are going to have a lot of work to catch up as Hyper will roll off the grid 20th and Vent 22nd. A lot of drivers have had different seasons, but I compare this track to Auto Club, and we all know who won Auto Club. He's looking good at the start here. So let's get this gravy train rolling. Hopefully all the drivers will actually take the flag and not go down pit road for no reason. Because this game is stupid sometimes. All right. Have these awkward silent moments. This is going to be bad, but it's going to be good. Hopefully the racing's good. The championship for Chippy, RS, Hyper, and Vent. 4 drivers, 1 championship. And the green flag is in the air. And Born Ready with a great start on the bottom. See Blasta going 3 wide early. Some of these drivers just wanting to go out on a high note with a win. They're not going to give anything to these Final Four drivers just because they have playoff hopes. Chippy doing a great job getting to the bottom for starting on the outside. RS not doing a good job getting onto the bottom. As a top 3 breakaway, Born, Jerry, Chippy. Still got a long road ahead of them. Yeah, Bourne. He's had himself an up and down season. He's got himself a couple wins, but he never made the playoffs, which is unfortunate for him. Wait, do we have a caution? I believe there is a yellow on track, as we do. Born Ready will get to the line first, and Jerry will get to the line second. Let's take a look at what happened here on lap 2. This could be bad. I do not believe that the wreck happened in the back. This could be bad. Oh no. Oh, Lucas Cram. Oh, in the wall. Oh, this is a huge development. Lucas actually got hooked. I don't know what happened. Just a bunch of cars in a group. Jumbo and Misty also gained damage, but the big development is that RS Fastlane 11 has some rear end damage and right side damage that will definitely cripple his chances of making it to the season 1 champion. We saw Exalta in the pits for no good reason. As see the cars coming down pit road, Exalta still stuck there like a cement block. As everybody goes by. And everyone's in pit road despite only turning 2 laps. Any DNFs? Jumbo DNF, Exalta 2 down, and Blasta easily makes it off pit road first. Is he on some 2-tire strategy? I think Vet might be on that 2-tire strategy since he came out pretty quick too. I see a lot of drivers who weren't in high positions at the start suddenly on high positions. Let's take a look at some of the other guys. RS will come back out on the lead lap, but I'm not sure how much slower he's going to be with all that damage on his backside, so to speak. Exalta finally decides to get his ass in gear. So we're going to just take a quick trip to fast forward through all this filler time. I think they're in turn 1 right now. Yeah. I guess now it's time to talk about the field. Blasta first. Exalta, the lap car. Bourne second. Jerry third. Chippy fourth. Eddie fifth. Vet sixth. He's up there trying to fight Chippy for the championship. Clipper seventh. Jake eighth. Country ninth, and Hyper rounding out the top 10. Got 3 of the final 4 in the top 10, and then there's unfortunate. Toad must have hit somebody on pit road, as he's got big damage as well. And we've only completed 6 laps, but it's felt like forever. Green flag, back out in the air. Chippy takes to the low side of Jerry. Maybe. Oh, Eddie. Eddie pulls the trick on him. And that lap car holding the low line, was it going to slow down, or is Exalta actually going to go for speed? Who knows? As Hyper making a move 3 wide. Does not want to be held up today with the great regular season he's had. Vent puts the block on him, but Hyper goes lower. Meanwhile, Chippy going underneath a 3 wide situation. We've seen these side by side moments go bad, like it has with Lucas. Is all the finalists are trying to get to the low side, but Hyper gets there first and passes Chippy. Hyper moving up to the championship spot. Being scored in second right now. He would like the win, but the win doesn't matter as much in this situation. As those top two are pulling away. Not sure if Chippy's flamed out yet, but there's still a lot of time. Exalta going really high on that turn. He did manage to get 35th from Jumbo, though, which is better than Jumbo. I didn't really have a joke for that. As Hyper going for the lead, but Bourne holding his own on the high line. Bourne having these strong cars when he's not in championship contention, but when he needs them, they just don't appear to him. As Jerry is challenging Chippy. This is not what he wants to see. Where'd Vent go in all this? You see Chippy and Hyper being really competitive early. Vent has fallen to 10th. Might as well check up on RS while we're here, as he is in the doldrums right now. Is that a synonym for basement? Because that's where he is. Back to Hyper. He's done it. Cleared himself for the lead. As now Jake is turning on the afterburners. He's had a great playoffs run in the round of 12, but the round of 8 was just a bit short on his end, as Chippy is going back. He is going far back. He's back to Vent. That's someone he doesn't want to see. Someone Chippy wants to beat. And we have a pretty humble group here. I mean, Jerry's catching Hyper, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Exalta's done a surprising job. If he was on the lead lap, he'd be mighty fine, but he's 3 down. Oh, I didn't realize how slow Misty Viper was. He's several seconds back to even the last place cars, as seen on that graphic I put up a moment ago. Now Chippy and Vent are fighting for 10th right now, with Canadian Lux shortly behind. I see some of these guys up here that haven't won, that just want to win. Steve's one of them. And he's passing Vent, which is admirable. Not something Vent wants to see, but still admirable on his own. Jerry trying to get up there, as the top two have sectioned themselves off considerably from the rest of the group. Just back and forth. You have to keep several back. Oh, but 00 coming back on track. He must have pitted. As the slow ass of Misty Viper is, he's just trying to log laps and live. And now we have a side-by-side for the lead between Jerry and Hyper. Hyper must be glad Jerry didn't make the Final Four, since he'd be a threat. Yeah, a lot of round of 8 eliminatees are doing good. Jerry, Jake, Racer, even Eddie's mixing it in the top 6 there. As I say that, Jake immediately loses 3 positions-ish. I think they're going to be pitting here soon. Some of them. I thought green flag pit stops would be sooner, because Misty would be the first one to go, but I guess Misty's just pitting early. Jerry trying to go for this lead. Why is I'm not gonna go check up on Toad, but hopefully he's doing fine. And Jerry just all over the back bumper of Hyper. Oh, they had a really high entrance into that corner. Kind of looked like as Jerry is setting up Hyper for a pass. Oh, he's going for it. If they need, it's we're on lap 18. It's been about a dozen laps or so on this run, dude. When are they gonna give? When's their fuel cells just gonna stop having fuel in them? Chippy is up to fourth, but I can't help but think that green flag pit stops are underway. As they are, you see a small handful of drivers, including RS Fastlane 11, entering pit road, hoping that pitting first will get them some sort of track position that these other drivers might miss out on. And here come the leaders. Except Chippy, apparently. He's going for another lap. Yeah, Chippy, Jake, Racer, Eddie. A lot of those guys. Even Ernie. He's going in 7th place. I see waves of pit stops. The last thing you want to see on a green flag pit stop wave is a caution. We learned that the hard way in Iowa. Oh, Jake, isolated on the high side, but he finds his way in. All the cars do. And Ernie is the last driver to pit. All right, Chippy's in. Vent on his way out. I think Vent still has to do another lap. He's on lap 20. RS finds himself having a decent shot. And he might be ahead of Vent. I'm not sure. He does have a dance partner, but it's one that he has all of his fury bundled up towards. One of our more controversial drivers of the series, Karibo. Huh. Beats me why he's always in the limelight of accusations, but whatever. We see Chippy coming off pit road as see cars that were nowhere near him starting to pass him. Where'd Tayo come from? Who knows? And that's for position too. So clearly, short pitting has both its pros and cons. You get immediate short-term track position gain at the cost of needing to pit sooner and being slower. As hold up, we have a caution, I believe. So the caution is out. What the hell? Something must have happened. And now we're going to find out. This one. Steve and Born Ready. What? This is one of the weirder cautions I've seen. They just lock and they just keep going on each other. Duke almost getting involved as a lot of cars having to scramble to get around, but everyone else makes it by safely. What the heck? I think a lot of these cars are going to be on the lead lap. All right. Yep. Hyper's still leader. Some things never change. The 62 of Jay Slura is out on an accident, and the 9 would be a DNF from that previously mentioned crash. Okay, this is weird. You see a lot of drivers just all over the place. Some drivers pitting, some drivers not pitting. Mizzou leads a small group of 3, including Final 4 participant RS Fastlane 11. I see Kryptonite pitting, and Bourne is obviously pitting because of that his waltz with Steve coming out of turn 4. Oh my god, the shit you see in this game. As we're gonna fast forward a bit here, is the 00 pitting again? I mean, there's no reason not to pit. The only person you're really battling for track positions, Exalta, and I think you're about a lap better than him. I believe him to be the only one pitting that time too, which is strange. I think lap cars pit on a different lap compared to lead lap cars. That's definitely a reason why. All right. Actually, yeah, he's only 1 lap down compared to Exalta's 3. So we're going to have 2 lappers, and we know how slow Misty is. So if you're not Hyper, Jerry, maybe Clipper, maybe Ty, it could be troublesome. Chippy in 5th is going to have a rough time here. Even all the way back to 10th, it's still going to be rough. I know RS pitted, but Vent in 20th, he wound up in an unfortunate situation. I think this is going to be the Hyper and Chippy show, so stay tuned for what these guys do in the second half. As we take the green again. Chippy doing the wise move, trying to take the high side as Misty takes the low side, but does not want to get hit by Ty. It is stressful situations for our finalists. But if you take it from Hyper, he thinks it's fine right now. He's out front, having a time. But Chippy looming on the bottom lane. Who knows? Jerry, he defects to the low lane and actually puts Hyper in an unfavorable situation. But Hyper prevailing on the high side. What is this? That's illegal. You can't do good on the high side in NR 2003. But Chippy wants to make sure Jerry gets the job done. And Chippy will slide right by for the championship too. But Chippy says that if you want a job done right, you got to do it yourself. See Clipper in 4th place. He's having a decent time. Oh my God, why is there smoke in turn 2? Something. I think we're still green, but I can't help but think something happened. I guess we're not going to find out what that is, are we? I think Falcon might have been involved in a wreck. Let's check up on the 18 car. Yes, Falcon 19 involved in a crash, but they did not throw the yellow for Falcon's crash. As Falcon teleported off pit road, but Chippy takes advantage of the chaos to take the lead and currently holding on to the championship. And with Hyper on his way back, things look up for the 2 team. Let's see. Jerry going low. I mean, let's take this time to see who's in 3rd place overall in the championship hunt. Vet doing nice. He's in the mid-teens. He's got Caddy and Karibo around him. And RS is in, he scored last 25th, so clearly that early crash must have did a lot more to him than he would like to have had happen. That's just how this bitch happens. That wasn't even a good analogy, is Hyper stuck in a group. Hyper wants social distancing from this many cars because the more cars around you, the more often or likely you are to crash. We could see some last second pit stop action in this race, but Hyper now does not have the best experience with pit strategy. But he's just kind of riding it forth, hoping something happens to that 2 car. But he's just rolling with it. Last lap was for Clipper was a 35.2. Chippy put together a 35.1. Let's see what it's like across the line this time. Chippy with a 35.4, Clipper with a 35.3. So hopefully they can get something going. Clipper's got Racer to help. And of course, the 42 could always try to use these guys with like a mini draft and get back up there. And Clipper could get the win. He's had himself a decent season, winning 2 in a row early, but kind of meandering about as what the hell is going on? Why are they 3 wide? Oh my god. They just put the move going into turn 1. They all just fan low and looking like a Pocono style move. Jake takes advantage of the chaos, moves into third. And Tayo, where did he come from? Not one. Oh, as pit stops have happening, Hyper actually starting the pit stop cascade this time, but could have started a lap earlier too with guys like RS, Karibo. Duke might have been there to pit earlier as well. Because now Chippy might find himself in the same situation he did last time where he actually lost position after his pit stop. Things could be better for the 2 team. He pits this time. The other leader's coming in. Oh, what? Mizzou just not giving a shit about short pitting. He's just an agent of chaos wanting to trap the whole field a lap down. Psykiller is the only other guy who stayed out with him. So kudos to Mizzou for leading a lap, but that's not worth anything in this league, so maybe you should win at any other track besides Sonoma. Oh man. He's coming in this time. I think that's everybody. I see Chippy on his way out, but you see the looming presence of cars hurling out of turn 4. With Tayo being the first of that group. Interesting. Let's see where this puts everybody. You see Tayo roaring down the backstretch, passing Jerry. Racer here. I think Chippy may still have his lead, surprisingly. I think Chippy might have it. He's running third, but he's got to pass Mizzou in size, so Chippy is effectively the leader here. How far back did Hyper end up? That's the question. Oh, Hyper. Not having a good pit stop. He sees himself pretty far back. Vet Nation in the mid to late teens is getting passed by King. King hasn't had himself a good season. It's unfortunate for both him and the fact Vent's getting passed by him. And RS just hanging on in 23rd. This season 1 championship hopes are all but a loss. With his damage and Chippy's dominance, a miracle is going to happen for anything to change. As Chippy now is bolstered over a 2.5 second lead here. But it is dwindling, which is bad. But the second place championship driver is Vet Nation in 16th. So Chippy's not really losing sleep over not winning this race. We do see a pretty decent sizable underdog field here in the top 10. Yeah, Blasto, wouldn't really call him an underdog as he made the playoffs in the round 12, but quickly found the exit door. But if we're talking underdogs, you see here in both a lot of 3 stars in or near the top 10. You got Ox in the 21, Puffy in the 4, Karibo in the 15, Country in the 12, just hovering outside the top 10 with Chalk Killer to push. Caddy King, he came across the stripe last time in 11th, but with how slow his equipment is, he won't be able to hold. And then, a little further back, you'll see Vent. Let's try to go for a wide camera arc to see, just so we can have Chippy and Vent in the same shot to show you the gap. And it's a massive gap at that. I think Vent could probably get one more position off Caddy, but I don't see him really having anything given to him easy. I think it's most notable to see Chippy going off into 1-2 right there, all alone. Let's flash right over to him. He's all on his own. But Jake is trying to run him down. Or more so, the whole field. And here's the thing. I think Chippy was one of the last ones to pit, which is oddly enough gives him some weird advantage. Huh. We'll have to see what happens when these drivers get right down near the end of this race. Is big group here fighting for position. Vent Nation right in front of this. Getting down to 6 to go, so if we don't have a caution here in the next lap or two, then it might get to the point where a caution could end the race, which is not ideal in the slightest. Not by a long shot. Yeah, see this giant group here trying to push their way to the lead. But I think some of them, Blast might think it's better to try to get individual positions now instead of focus on a win. Coming to the 5 to go at the stripe. Nothing but daylight ahead of Chippy as he's actually putting a little bit of distance between him and the field now. Running off to his 2nd win of the season and the first ever NCS champion. And now 4 laps to go. Huh. These guys, all these other cars are like second place on back. It's a great fight. Leader's just kind of ahead of all of it. Reminds me of an Xfinity Series race with Kyle Busch in it. And Puffy's still hanging on to that top 10. You see some other one of those 2-star cars, Ox and Karibo, fell out of the top 10, but Puffy's still hanging strong. 3 to go. Does anyone have anything for Chippy? Or will pit stops begin? No? I'm not sure if they're trying to stretch enough fuel. I think they can all make it, which is hella unfortunate for having a dramatic ending. Look at Eddie just going low there. So yeah, these drivers trying to get all the track position they can. Trying to get every point out of it. 2 laps left in the Great Michigan race. Oh, I see Mizzou. He's charging up there. He was the last to pit. So Mizzou clearly has probably one of the best cars in the field right now, but there's not much time left to show that off as Chippy comes around for the white flag. One more time around at Michigan. See the whole field behind him. Vet Nation, he's even gotten himself into the top 10. But unfortunately, in a final round type situation, top 10 is not good enough. Half a lap. Chippy gets off 3 and 4. And Chippy will win at Michigan and take the crown as the Season 1 champion. Vent Nation will come up 6th place as he will be 2nd place in the championship standings. RS Fastlane 11 in Hyperdrive had a close bout for 3rd, but RS will take 3rd in the standings. And Hyperdrive, the regular season favorite, will end up 4th. But that's just how it is in this tight format. Yeah, it was closer than expected. Hyper had the bottom lane, but the flag just came up too short. That probably describes every grievance against this format and how the guy who does so good all year long gets beat out. But hey, Chippy had a great season. He was top 3 most of all the regular season. He did just good enough, and Chippy won Auto Club earlier this season too, and 2-mile D-shaped oval. He comes into Michigan, 2-mile D-shaped oval, and he gets it done. Yeah, Puffy did not get that top 10 that I was hoping he'd get. Mizzou, his late pit strategy did earn him a top 5, so kudos. You'll see a lot of other underdogs trying to get themselves in a nestle in the top 15, top 20. Karibo 13, Caddy 17th, Kryptonite 21st, Alex 22nd, and Duke A88 went a lap down this race. I do think some drivers might have bit the bullet to go down pit road, but the majority of them did stay on track to finish. But except for the ones that wrecked, obviously. And that'll do it for the first season. This is That One Racer as commentator and driver.